All right, so today we got a cool one. We got a J4500 here. We're gonna go over one of the worst designs that they did on a J4500. I don't complain too much about it because it's made me a lot of money over the years, but it is by far one of the worst designs on these J coaches. On 2006-ish and newer, they fixed it with a redesigned tank, but the design flaw is the bathroom tank on these. Before we get into that, a lot of people have been telling me that if they're not mechanic savvy, or sometimes I move too quick, that they can't follow what I'm pointing at. So today we're going to introduce a new item on the channel, and that is a minion on a stick. And if you're curious on how we made the minion on a stick, we simply took a 6013 welding rod and we inserted it into the minion. So we want to take a moment for the sacrifice that the minion made, well, and my daughter gave it to me, to give us this video today. So anyway, so the design flaw comes in with, we've got some video footage of what the discharge pipe on the compressor is doing. So we'll show that a little later in the video. But basically what happens is, this toilet tank right here, you can see where this rubber mounts to the bottom of the tank. It's bolted in. And what happens is it rots away, or the bolts get loose, or the inserts come out, or the tank cracks. There's like 50 things that can go wrong. In this case, the pipe broke off, dumped all the toilet chemical out, and we're gonna be repairing that. But what happens is it leaks around those bolts, and it leaks on top of this discharge on the compressor. And when it leaks on there, they don't realize how much urine and feces is caustic. When you mix those two together with toilet chemical, it'll rot away anything that you can think of. But what has happened is that toilet chemical has leaked out, it has rotted this pipe away, and it's caused pinholes in that pipe right there. And you'll see the actual refrigerant coming out of the pipe. It's no longer in there now because we have cleaned it and whatnot, but when it first came in and I diagnosed the problem, you'll see the refrigerant coming out of this pipe right here. So this is not a fun job. You basically have to replace this discharge valve and the line, but in order to do that, you have to lay across all this toilet chemical, and it's a pretty poopy job, no pun intended. So anyway, but by far, this is the worst design on an MCI motor coach, and we'll show you footage of the new design because they found out that this was a bad design. So we'll go look at the new bus and we'll show you what they did to rectify this problem. So this is the new updated design. As you can see, this pipe protrudes. You no longer have that adapter right there, and because you no longer have that adapter, it comes directly out of the tank. This part doesn't crack, this part doesn't leak. As long as this hose and clamps are in good shape, then this toilet, as you can see, there's no toilet chemical or nothing. That other one, that MCI design when they first came out, that's from coaches 1998 to 2005, 6-ish. The rest of the buses have this design in it, which is a way better design. MCI did fix the problem, but like I said, that was a major design flaw in the earlier coaches. Again, not complaining, makes me a lot of money, but for the consumer that actually has to pay it, y'all are the ones that have the right to complain about that. And it is kind of an expensive job. That valve is pretty expensive. The line is not too bad, it's $100 and something, but it leaks all the refrigerant out and it makes a pretty big mess in there.